Welcome to American Accent, your new home for real, simple, powerful English. Let me ask you something. What if you could speak English fluently, not in years, but in just a few months? What if I told you that you don't need long grammar drills, complicated textbooks, or a perfect accent to speak with confidence? All you need is your voice. And one powerful habit. Shadowing. Yes, shadowing. It's the secret I wish every English learner knew. It changed my students. It changed my own English. And today, it can change yours. No matter where you live, no matter how shy or nervous you feel. Shadowing is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about copying with confidence, feeling the rhythm, finding your sound, speaking even before you're ready. So stay with me, because the moment you stop learning with fear and start learning with feeling, that's the moment your English begins to fly. And trust me, your voice is ready. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Magic of Mindset. Let's take a deep breath together. You are not just here to learn English. You are here to change how you feel about English. That's the secret many people miss. Fluency is not only about knowing the right words or rules. It's about what happens inside your mind when you speak. It's about your belief, your patience, your courage. I've taught English for over 25 years. And I've seen it again and again. Two students with the same level, same vocabulary, same lessons. One grows quickly, the other stays stuck. Why? The answer is mindset. Let me tell you a true story. A young woman came to my class. She was very quiet. She spoke almost no English, and she never smiled. She sat in the back. She looked afraid every time I asked a question. After class one day, I sat with her and gently asked, "Why don't you speak?" She looked down and whispered, "Because I'm bad at English." That one sentence broke my heart. Not because her English was wrong, but because her mind had already decided something that wasn't true. I smiled and said, "You're not bad. You're just beginning. You're not broken. You're just learning." That small shift in thinking is what changes everything. When you say, "I'm bad at English," your brain stops trying. It believes you. It shuts down. But if you say, "I'm learning English," even if it's slow, even if you make mistakes, your brain opens up. It becomes curious. It becomes brave. That's the magic. Not a grammar book. Not a perfect sentence. Just a new belief. I'm learning. You see, many beginners carry fear. Fear of mistakes. Fear of judgment. Fear of sounding foolish. But I want to tell you something important. Fluency doesn't grow in fear. It grows in freedom. When a baby learns to walk, it falls 100 times. But the baby never says, "I'm bad at walking." It keeps going. Why? Because it believes it can. That's the mindset I want you to have with English. Now let's imagine something. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself speaking English. Not perfectly, but clearly, confidently. You're talking to someone. They understand you. You understand them. And suddenly, you're not thinking about grammar. You're not translating in your head. You're just speaking. You smile. They smile. That moment, that smile, is not far away, but it begins with how you think about yourself. Let's go back to that student. After a few weeks of small, kind conversations, she began to say short phrases. I like tea. I am happy today. I want to speak. The day she said her first full sentence out loud in front of the class, something beautiful happened. Everyone clapped. She looked shocked, and then she smiled. A big, honest, beautiful smile. And in that moment, I saw something even more important than English. I saw a change in her mind from I can't to maybe I can. And that's where you begin too. You don't need a big vocabulary. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need the right mindset. A curious one, a patient one, a kind one. Every time you make a mistake, smile. That's a good mistake. It means you're growing. Every time you feel nervous, breathe. That's your heart saying, this matters. And every time you want to say, I'm bad at English, I want you to stop and say, I'm learning. Say it now, out loud. I'm learning English. Say it again, louder. I'm learning English. That voice is not just speaking English, it's building fluency from the inside out. And once your mind believes it, your voice will follow. Are you ready to feel your first transformation? Then let's continue to Chapter 2, where I'll share the most powerful tool I've ever used and how it changed everything. Chapter 2. Why shadowing works like magic. Let me tell you something strange, but true. The best way to learn English is not by studying harder, it's by copying smarter. That's right, copying, not cheating, copying. In English learning, it has a special name, shadowing. And today, I want to show you why this one simple method can change your fluency faster than anything else you've tried. Shadowing is exactly what it sounds like. You are the shadow. You follow someone, a voice, a native speaker, a sentence. You listen, and then you speak almost at the same time. You copy the words, the tone, the music of the sentence. You don't stop to ask, is this past tense? You don't pause to translate it into your language. You don't write anything down. You feel it. You repeat it. And slowly, your brain starts to learn, not like a student, but like a child. Now think for a moment. How do babies learn to speak? They don't go to school. They don't read grammar books. They just listen to their parents, their siblings, their neighbors. And what do? They copy, again and again. Even before they understand the meaning, they copy the sound, the rhythm, the pauses, the feeling. That's how they learn to speak naturally and fluently. Shadowing gives you the same chance. It puts you in the world of sound and rhythm. When you shadow a native speaker, you're not only copying words, you're training your ears, your tongue, your voice, and your brain, all at the same time. You become a part of the sentence. You feel where it begins. You feel where it ends. And most importantly, you stop thinking too much. You stop worrying, am I saying this right? Because your focus is not on thinking, it's on echoing. Let me give you a little experiment. Choose a sentence from a movie, something short. Maybe, I'll be right there, or you've got to be kidding me. Now play that sentence 3 times. The first time, just listen. The second time, try to copy the speaker as closely as possible. The third time, speak it with them. At the same time, like an echo. Then stop and feel something. Do you notice how real it felt? Like it came from your mouth, not from a book, like it belonged to you. That's the magic I'm talking about. I remember a student of mine, an older man, maybe in his 60s. He said, "I'm too old. I can't speak English fast." But then I gave him a 5-word sentence to shadow. "How was your day today?" He listened. He copied, again and again. And one day he walked into class, smiled at me, and said, "How was your day today?" It came out smooth, natural, no fear, no grammar mistakes, just him talking. His eyes lit up. "That sounded real," he said. And it was real. That's what shadowing does. It takes English out of the grammar world and brings it into your real world. You don't just learn about English. You live in it. You play with it. You feel it. And that's when fluency begins. And here's something else. Shadowing also trains your confidence. At first, you may feel silly. Speaking to a screen, copying a movie, it might feel strange. But after a few days, your mouth begins to move without thinking. Your voice becomes stronger. You begin to sound like someone who speaks English, not studies it. You begin to own the sentences. You're not just copying, you're becoming. So don't wait for the perfect day. Don't wait until you know every word. Shadow something today. 1 sentence, 1 line, 1 scene. Say it with your heart. Say it with your breath. Say it with a smile. And then say it again tomorrow. Because when English becomes a sound in your ear and a feeling in your body, that's when it becomes your language. And trust me, your first real sentence is just around the corner. Let's go get it. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to shadow the right way, step by step, so you don't waste time. Ready? Let's move forward together. Chapter 3. How to Shadow the Right Way. Now that you know the magic behind shadowing, let's take the next step together. Because knowing about shadowing is not enough. You have to do it the right way to feel the results. And the good news? It's not hard. It's simple. It's repeatable. And yes, you can start today, even if you're a complete beginner. So let's break it down, step by step. First, choose the right clip. Start small. Don't try to shadow a full episode or long speech. That will only make you tired and confused. Instead, look for a clip that is just 10 to 30 seconds long. That's all. It can be from a movie, a YouTube video, a podcast, or even a short story. Choose something with clear, natural speech, not too fast, not too quiet, and ideally, something that feels fun or real. If you like the scene, your brain will enjoy the practice more. Next, listen to the clip once without speaking. Just listen. Pay attention to the rhythm, the emotion, the stress on the words. Try to feel the music of the sentence. Where does the speaker pause? Where does their voice go up or down? Even if you don't understand every word, your ears are learning the shape of English. Now play the clip again, but this time, Pause after every sentence or short phrase and repeat it immediately. Don't write it down. Don't translate it. Just copy. Let your mouth follow the sound. Try to match the speaker's speed and emotion as closely as you can. If they sound angry, sound angry. If they sound happy, sound happy. Feel like you are acting, because in a way, you are. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to echo. If the speaker says, "What are you doing here?" you say, "What are you doing here?" with the same rhythm and tone, not like a robot, like a mirror, a living, breathing mirror. That's how your mouth learns to speak smoothly. That's how your brain starts to trust your voice. Now, about subtitles. Yes, they can help, but only after you try shadowing without them. First, listen and copy without looking. Later, you can check the English subtitles to see what you missed. This is important. If you read first, your brain focuses on spelling and grammar. But if you listen first, your brain focuses on sound and flow. And that's what you need for fluency. I remember one student who loved action movies. He chose a short clip from a film where two friends were arguing in a funny way. Just 20 seconds. At first, he could only repeat 1 or 2 words. But every day, he practiced the same clip. He laughed while doing it. He got louder, faster, more natural. And then one day, he shadowed the full clip without pausing. His eyes were bright. He looked at me and said, "I feel like I was in the movie." That moment, that feeling, is what makes shadowing work. It's not just about repetition. It's about becoming. You become the speaker. You step into their shoes. You borrow their confidence, their sound, their flow, and little by little, it becomes yours. So here's your challenge. After this video, pick one short clip, just one. Play it. Listen. Pause. Copy. Again and again. Then tomorrow, try the same clip without pausing. Let it live inside you. Feel how different your English becomes, not because you memorized a list of rules, but because you experienced the language. That's the magic of doing it the right way. No pressure, no big plan. Just one clip, one voice, one you, growing, sentence by sentence. In the next chapter, I'll help you turn this into a real habit, something that fits into your life every day, like brushing your teeth or making tea. Because shadowing only works when you make it part of who you are. Let's go there next. Chapter 4. What to shadow. Choosing the right content. So, you now understand how shadowing works and how to do it step by step. But here's the big question many beginners ask next. What should I shadow? With millions of videos, podcasts, and shows online, where do you begin? Don't worry, I'll guide you. Because choosing the right content is like choosing the right shoes. If it doesn't fit, it will only slow you down. But if it fits just right, oh, you'll fly. First, the golden rule. Start with simple and clear English. Your goal is not to challenge your brain with fast, complicated speech right away. Your goal is to build confidence, rhythm, and flow. So begin with slow podcasts made for beginners. There are many out there, spoken clearly, with easy vocabulary and natural speed. These podcasts are like gentle waves. You can ride them, enjoy them, and grow stronger without feeling lost. Next, try friendly YouTube channels, like this one. Yes, this channel was made for you. Here, we speak to you, not at you. We slow down, we smile, we use real language. This is what you need. And there are others too. You can find channels where people tell stories, teach English through life examples, or just talk about their day in slow English. That's the key. Real people using real English in ways that feel human. Another wonderful place to start? Kids' cartoons. I know you're an adult, but cartoons are gold for English learners. Why? Because the voices are clear, the language is simple, the expressions are full of feeling, and best of all, they're fun. When you laugh, when you smile, when you enjoy the scene, your brain opens up. Learning becomes natural. You're not studying English, you're living it. Shows like Peppa Pig, Dora the Explorer, or even old classics like Sesame Street are great for building your base. And of course, short movie scenes. Choose your favorite film, not the full movie, just one small scene. Maybe a funny conversation between friends. Maybe a quiet emotional moment. Maybe a line that always made you curious. Use subtitles in English only if needed. Listen, repeat, shadow, and feel the magic of speaking like you're in the movie. It doesn't matter if the actor is famous. When you shadow them for a few seconds, you are them. Here's the best part. One day soon, you'll have a moment that feels like a tiny miracle. You'll be watching a video, and suddenly, you understand one word, then another, then a phrase. Your eyes widen, your heart jumps. Wait, you say. I didn't translate that, I just understood it. That moment, that spike, is unforgettable. It's the sound of your fluency being born. I remember a student who loved animals. I gave her a video from a pet show, just a host talking about puppies. She listened every day. At first, only one word, cute, but she kept going. Soon she caught fluffy, then running around, then full sentences like, "This puppy loves to play in the grass." One day she said to me, "I didn't know I knew those words, but when I heard them, I understood them." That's the power of choosing content that you like. And that's the final rule. Choose what you enjoy. If you love cooking, shadow cooking shows. If you love travel, shadow travel videos. If you love music, shadow lyrics. English should not feel like homework. It should feel like you. Because the more you connect, the more you remember. And the more you remember, the more you speak. So tonight, try something. Open YouTube or Spotify. Find one short video or podcast that feels friendly, simple, and fun. Play it. Smile. Listen. And start shadowing. Because once you find your kind of English, your fluency becomes unstoppable. In the next chapter, I'll help you build a powerful daily habit, a routine so small and easy, you'll never want to skip it. Let's build that together. Chapter 5. Building a daily shadowing habit. Let's talk about something very simple, but very powerful. Daily practice. You don't need to study English for hours and hours. You don't need a big plan. You just need a small habit. A short, easy routine you can follow every day, like brushing your teeth or making tea. And today, I'll show you how to build that habit using just 15 minutes a day. That's right, just 15 minutes. And the best part? That little time done every day can take you to real fluency. Let's begin with a truth. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. It's not about doing 2 hours on Monday and then nothing all week. It's about doing a little bit every day, even when you're tired, even when you're busy, because that's how your brain learns. Through gentle repetition, through showing up, through rhythm. So here's your new goal: 15 minutes of shadowing every day. That's it. You can do it in the morning while your tea is boiling, or in the afternoon during a short break, or in the evening before you sleep. You don't need a special room. You don't need perfect silence. You just need your voice and a little time. You can even do it while walking, cooking, or riding the bus. English can live inside your day, like a quiet friend beside you. Here's how it works. Choose your short clip, just like we talked about in the last chapter. Maybe it's a 20-second video from your favorite YouTube channel, or a line from a cartoon, or a small part of a podcast. Play it once. Listen. Then pause and copy. Do it again and again. For 15 minutes, you and that voice become one. You don't need to finish a full conversation. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to speak with it. Now let's add a secret weapon, a small notebook. Not for grammar rules, not for long vocabulary lists. This notebook is for your shadowing wins. Every day, after you finish, write one sentence. Today, I shadowed 3 sentences. Today, I repeated a full scene. Today, I felt more confident. That's all. Small notes, small wins, but those wins will grow, and one day you'll look back and say, "Wow, I've done this for 10 days, for 20 days, for a month, and then one beautiful day, you'll finish your 7th day in a row. You'll close your notebook, you'll smile, not because your English is perfect, but because you're not scared anymore. You're speaking, you're trying, you're growing. You are becoming the person who shows up." That's the spike moment I've seen with so many learners. It's not the grammar test. It's not the big exam. It's the quiet victory of showing up again and again and realizing, I can do this. I am doing this. I remember one of my students, a factory worker with long night shifts. He told me, "I don't have time to learn," but I helped him build a tiny routine. Every morning before his shift, he shadowed one sentence for 10 minutes. Just one. After a week, he added 5 more minutes. After a month, he was speaking in full phrases. One day he said, "I no longer feel nervous when I speak. I just speak." That was his victory. That can be yours too. So here's your plan. Choose a time, choose a place, choose your clip, and make shadowing your daily habit. Don't think of it as practice. Think of it as your time to shine. A time when your voice wakes up, when your confidence grows, when your future English self is born, one sentence at a time. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. In the next chapter, we'll talk about what happens when things get tough, when you feel stuck or silly or scared. Because yes, those days will come. But don't worry. I'll show you how to face every challenge with courage and keep your voice moving forward. Let's walk through that together. Chapter 6: Common Problems and Easy Fixes. Let's be honest now. Learning English, even with shadowing, won't always feel easy. There will be days when you get stuck, when you feel tired, when you think, why is this still so hard? Maybe you hear a sentence and understand nothing. Maybe you try to speak and it comes out slow and broken. Maybe you feel silly, copying voices alone in your room. And sometimes you forget everything you just learned yesterday. It's okay. It's normal. You are not alone. Every learner, every speaker goes through this. And the good news? These problems are not permanent. They all have simple, kind fixes. Let's take them one by one. Problem 1: I don't understand. You press play on a clip. The speaker talks fast. The words run together. You feel lost. Your heart sinks. Here's the fix. Slow down. Shadowing doesn't mean you have to follow perfectly. Use the speed tool on YouTube or your podcast app. Play it at 0.75x or even 0.5x. This gives your ears a chance to catch the words. And remember, understanding doesn't come first. Feeling comes first. So even if you understand just one word, celebrate it. That's a win. Tomorrow, you'll hear 2. Problem 2: I feel silly. You're repeating a line from a cartoon or acting out a scene alone in your kitchen. You feel weird, embarrassed. You start laughing at yourself. Here's the fix. Good. Keep laughing. Shadowing should feel playful. You are not just learning, you are performing. You are practicing with joy, not stress. Babies laugh when they copy adults. Actors play with emotion. You're doing the same. So let go of the idea that learning must look serious. Let it be fun. Let it be light. Speak with a smile. It works better that way. Problem 3: I speak too slow. You copy a sentence, but your voice can't keep up. You feel stuck. You want to speak faster, but it feels like your mouth is made of stone. Here's the fix. Don't rush. Speaking fast is not the goal. Speaking smoothly is. Fluency is not speed. It's comfort. It's flow. First, master one short phrase, then repeat it 5 times, 10 times. Soon, your mouth will remember it. And when that happens, your speed will grow naturally, without stress. One day you'll repeat a full line without even thinking. That's real progress. Problem 4: I forget everything. You shadow a clip today, you feel good. Then tomorrow, you forget all of it. You feel like you're starting from 0 again. That's frustrating. But here's the fix. That's how memory works. It's not broken. It just needs review. Your brain learns through repetition. Don't be afraid to shadow the same clip 5 days in a row. In fact, that's one of the best things you can do. The more your mouth and ears repeat it, the deeper it stays in your mind. Forgetting is not failure. It's part of the process. Shadow it again. You're building deeper roots each time. Let me share a small story. I had a student named Amir. He was shy, always worried about mistakes. One day, we were practicing a short sentence. "Can I help you with that?" He kept saying, "Can I help that with you?" I corrected him gently, but he still got it mixed up. Then I said, let's try shadowing it together 5 times. We did, slowly, then faster. He laughed at himself. I laughed too. On the 6th try, he said it perfectly. He looked surprised, like he didn't believe it. A week later, we practiced again. He made the same mistake, but this time he smiled and said, "Oops, but I'll keep going." That was his spike moment. He made a mistake, but he didn't stop. He kept speaking, and the person listening still understood. That's fluency, not perfection, but connection. So if you're having a hard day, remember this. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to show up, to try again, to speak, even if it's slow, even if it's wrong, even if you laugh halfway through. That's how real speakers are made. Not in silence, not in fear, but in movement, in mistakes, in smiling through the struggle. Every challenge you face is just a small hill, and every time you speak, you're climbing. Keep climbing, keep speaking, because your fluency is not far. It's just a few sentences away. In the next chapter, we'll talk about something beautiful, how one day your English will start to flow naturally. Without thinking, without planning, you'll speak like it's part of you. Let's see how that happens in Chapter 7. Chapter 7. One sentence at a time. Speaking without thinking. Something amazing starts to happen when you shadow every day. You don't notice it at first. It doesn't come with fireworks or a big announcement. But one day, something small, something beautiful, quietly happens. You speak, you answer, and you don't even think about it. That's the moment. That's when English stops being a subject and starts becoming a part of you. In the beginning, speaking English feels like building a puzzle. You think of a sentence in your language. Then you try to translate it. Then you change the grammar. Then you search for the words. And finally, maybe, you say it. But by then, the conversation has already moved on. That's normal. That's what every beginner goes through. But shadowing changes this. Slowly, gently, powerfully. When you shadow, you stop thinking about English and start feeling it. Your ears, your tongue, your breath, they begin to move together. You're not translating anymore. You're responding. You're flowing. You're speaking in rhythm, not in pieces. It's not magic. It's muscle memory. You've practiced that one sentence so many times, your mouth knows it by heart. It comes out without effort, and it feels good. Let's imagine a moment. You're at a cafe. Someone turns to you and says, "How are you?" And before your brain jumps in with panic, before you search for a perfect answer, you simply say, "I'm doing well, thanks." And you? That's it. That's the moment. You didn't plan it. You didn't pause. You just said it. You lived it. And for the first time, English felt like your friend, not your test. That's what shadowing does. It teaches your mouth the path, so your brain can rest. Think about how you say your name. You don't spell it letter by letter, you just say it. That's fluency. It's not fast. It's not fancy. It's familiar. Shadowing brings that feeling to full sentences. One of my students, a young shopkeeper, shadowed every morning while opening his store. Just 10 minutes. Same podcast, same simple greetings. One day, a tourist came in and asked, "Do you have this in another color?" And guess what? Without thinking, he said, "Let me check for you." No pause, no fear, no plan. He told me later, "I didn't know I could say that. It just came out." That's real fluency. That's real freedom. You see, fluency doesn't arrive with big words. It arrives with ease, with comfort, with the quiet joy of replying without stress. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need to use fancy grammar. You just need to speak with flow. That flow comes one sentence at a time, not one rule, not one test, one sentence, spoken again and again until it becomes your voice. And here's something you'll love. When you start to speak without thinking, you begin to listen better too. Why? Because your brain is no longer busy building your next sentence. It's free to focus on the other person. And that makes you a better communicator, not just in English, but in life. So here's your next small mission. Think of one sentence you've shadowed often. Maybe, "Can I help you?" Or, "I don't understand." Or, "That's a good idea." Now go into your day and use it. Look for a chance. Whisper it. Say it aloud. Feel it come out. And smile. Because that sentence is now yours. You didn't memorize it. You became it. One sentence at a time. That's how fluency grows. Quietly, naturally, confidently. In the next chapter, I'll share some real stories of people like you, beginners who shadowed, struggled, and then succeeded. Their journeys are full of laughter, mistakes, and courage, and maybe their story will feel like yours. Let's meet them in Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Real Stories, Real Progress. Let's take a break from the steps, the tips, the techniques, and listen to some real voices. Because sometimes the best lesson is not from a teacher. It's from someone just like you. Someone who started with fear. Someone who felt lost. Someone who didn't believe they could speak English. And then, one day, they did. These are true stories. No fancy schools, no special training, just ordinary people who used shadowing in simple, creative ways and found their own rhythm. Let me introduce you to Bilal, a farmer from a small village. He didn't have Wi-Fi at home, so every morning he downloaded English YouTube videos on his phone before going to the fields. While feeding his chickens and checking his crops, he would plug in his earphones and shadow simple phrases out loud. "Nice weather today," he'd say. "What are you doing?" He'd copy. At first, the animals were the only ones listening. But after 6 months, a traveler visited his farm, and Bilal said confidently, "Welcome. Would you like some tea?" The traveler smiled. They talked for 10 minutes. Bilal later told me, "I didn't know I could speak that long. I just heard the sentence in my head and said it." That's progress. That's fluency in the field. Then there's Sophia, a mother of 2. Her life was busy, cooking, cleaning, helping with homework. No time for long lessons, but she found a moment every night, just before bedtime. She chose English storybooks with audio and read along with her children. She shadowed the narrator softly, sentence by sentence. The bear was very sleepy. He walked through the forest. Simple lines, full of rhythm and feeling. She didn't study grammar. She just enjoyed the voice, the moment. One night, her son said, "Mama, your English sounds like the story lady." That was her spike moment. She had become the voice she once copied. And then there's Amir, a teenager who loved music. He didn't care much for textbooks, but he loved English songs, especially rap and pop. Every day he chose one line from a song and shadowed it, over and over. He matched the beat. He mimicked the emotion. At first, he didn't understand the lyrics, but he felt the energy, and slowly the words made sense. One day, he recorded himself. He played it back, and his eyes went wide. "That's me," he said. "That sounds like real English." He had found his voice in the music. Each of these learners had doubts. They felt shy. They made mistakes. But they didn't stop. They didn't wait for the perfect lesson. They didn't wait for a teacher to correct every sentence. They just listened, repeated, laughed, and spoke. That's what shadowing gives you. A simple way to grow, wherever you are, whoever you are. And you can do the same. Maybe you're a student, a worker, a parent. Maybe you have 5 minutes a day, maybe 20. It doesn't matter. You have a voice. You have access to sound. And you have the ability to copy, repeat, and grow. One of the most powerful things I've seen is when a learner records themselves, not to judge, but to hear their journey. Maybe it starts rough. Maybe you forget a word. But after a few weeks, you play it back and suddenly it doesn't sound like a student learning English. It sounds like you speaking English. Naturally, calmly, clearly. That's your spike moment. That's the fire that keeps you going. So if you ever doubt yourself, remember Bilal whispering to chickens. Remember Sophia reading bedtime stories. Remember Amir rapping into his phone. They all started from silence. And now they speak. And you? You're not far behind. Your story is still being written. In the next chapter, I'll tell you something important. Your voice is not wrong. Your accent is not bad. In fact, it's your superpower. Let's celebrate it together. Chapter 9. Your voice is your superpower. Let me tell you something very important. Something I wish every English learner could hear from the very first day. Your voice is not wrong. Your accent is not a mistake. The way you speak English is not something to hide. It is something to build, to shape, to celebrate. Your voice is your identity. And when you speak English with it, you are not becoming less. You are becoming more. Many beginners worry about their accent. They listen to native speakers and think, "I don't sound like that." Some even try to erase their accent, afraid it will make them look foolish. But let me ask you something. When a French person speaks English and you hear that smooth French sound, doesn't it sound charming? When a Japanese speaker says English words with gentle rhythm, doesn't it sound soft and interesting? That's the beauty of voice. It's not about being the same. It's about being you in another language. When you shadow, you are not copying to become someone else. You are copying to become yourself, more confident, more clear, more expressive. You are training your mouth, yes. You are practicing rhythm, yes. But you are not erasing your sound. You are shaping it, strengthening it, owning it. Let me share a moment from my classroom. A young woman named Hina used to speak very softly. She had a strong accent from her village and didn't like it. She thought her English sounded wrong. She once told me, "When I speak, I don't sound smart." That broke my heart. But I asked her to try something. I gave her a short clip from a travel show, just 2 sentences. She shadowed it every day, not loudly, just with feeling. After 2 weeks, I asked her to record herself. She listened to the recording with wide eyes. Then she smiled. "I didn't know I could sound like that," she whispered. It wasn't perfect, but it was clear, confident, beautiful. Heron, that was her spike moment. She found her power. That's the moment I want for you. Not perfection, but recognition. The moment when you hear your voice and say, "This is me, and I'm proud of it." Your voice carries more than just words. It carries your story, your culture, your humor, your heart. When you speak English with your voice, you are not just learning a language. You are connecting. You are creating a bridge between who you are and the world around you. Some people may tell you to fix your accent. But here, on this channel, we don't believe in fixing what isn't broken. We believe in growing, in becoming stronger, in being real. And yes, shadowing helps with pronunciation. It helps you speak more clearly. But the goal is not to sound like an actor in a Hollywood movie. The goal is to be understood, to speak with confidence, to express yourself. And when you do that, you will find that people listen not because your English is perfect, but because it's honest. So here's what I want you to do. Choose one sentence you love. Shadow it every day this week. Then, on the 7th day, record yourself. Don't judge it. Just listen and look for the moment, the little spark, when you say, "That sounds good. That's your power. That's your progress. That's your voice growing stronger." And remember, your voice doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be yours. Chapter 10. From Learner to Speaker. Now you're ready. Take a moment. Think about where you started. Maybe you were nervous. Maybe you didn't believe you could do this. Maybe you thought, "This is too hard," or "My English is not good enough." But now look at you. You're not just a learner anymore. You're a speaker, a real speaker, not perfect, not finished, but brave, growing, speaking. And that changes everything. You've built something powerful. Not just vocabulary, not just sentences. You've built a habit, a rhythm, a new way of thinking. You've trained your ears to hear English with more confidence. You've trained your mouth to move with more freedom. And most of all, you've trained your heart to believe, "I can speak." This is what shadowing does. It's not magic. It's movement. It's progress. It's the daily decision to show up, to copy, to laugh at your mistakes, to speak, even when your voice shakes. And day by day, sentence by sentence, you've become someone new. You are no longer just studying English. You are living it. You are no longer afraid of mistakes. You are learning from them. You are not just listening to English anymore. You are expressing yourself with it, sharing feelings, asking questions, making connections. Let me tell you something. Fluency is not a finish line. It's not something you reach and say, I'm done. Fluency is a journey of moments. Moments when someone asks you something in English and you answer without fear. Moments when you laugh at a joke in a movie and realize you understood it. Moments when you say something simple like, I need some help, and the person gets it. Fluency is when English becomes part of your world, not something you study, but something you use. Let's imagine your future for a moment. You're standing in front of a small group, maybe your classmates, maybe your coworkers, maybe a few friends. You're telling them a story in English. You're smiling, they're laughing. You're not reading from a script. You're just talking, like it's natural, like it's yours. Because it is. Or maybe you're traveling. You walk into a cafe. You order coffee. You ask for directions. You say thank you. It's not perfect, but it's smooth. It's warm. It's enough. And you feel proud. Or maybe someone asks, how did you learn English? And you say, I started by shadowing videos every day, just 15 minutes, and little by little, my confidence grew. You say it with a smile, because it's true. That is your spike moment. The moment you realize, I'm not trying to speak English, I am speaking English. So what now? You keep going. You keep shadowing. You keep speaking. You keep growing. Choose a new clip tomorrow. Set a timer. Shadow for 10 or 15 minutes. Write down one small win in your notebook. Keep your voice alive, because every sentence you repeat, every phrase you speak, every smile you feel, takes you further, closer to your best English self. You have become more than a student. You've become a communicator, a storyteller, a speaker, and no matter how small your words are, they can move people, they can connect hearts, they can open doors, and that is powerful. So let's end this chapter not with a goodbye, but with a promise. You are ready, you are strong, and your voice matters. Now go speak. The world is waiting to hear you. If even one chapter made you smile, or made you believe in your English just a little more, please do 4 small things. Like this video, comment below, and tell me, have you ever tried shadowing before? Subscribe to American Accent for more real, simple, emotional English lessons. Share this video with a friend who's afraid to speak. Maybe today is their moment. And remember, your English doesn't live in books. It lives in your voice. Shadow it. Speak it. Own it. Because your words, no matter how simple, can change your world.